Give me a minute. I'm getting us live onto YouTube.
Is it on?
Yep, we're on.
Okay.
I'm just getting us live on YouTube and everywhere else.
Yeah, I had a coffee meeting on Google Duo yesterday, and I was having problems with my audio.
My video, well, we're not gonna say anything about my video right now because, you know, my hair's a mess.
God, you see the ball cap on my head.
Oh, no, your camera's not on.
Really?
Yep.
How do I get my camera on?
Should have a toolbar that says start video or stop video.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, we are streaming live on. Bar
Video.
is in my way.
Widescreen, enable, touch appearance, always display, turn off my video, join meeting, always show video. Looks like everything's on.
Okay, I'm trying to get this to start playing, and I don't remember the fancy shortcut to do so. Go to meeting controls. There we go. Slideshow from beginning.
Okay, I'll talk until I figure this out.
All right. Oops. Let's go back. Greetings, everybody who is joining us. We are starting on time today versus waiting our usual 15 minutes for latecomers. I've got a lot to do. We have our Ren Fair Planning Committee. Our last meeting for Ren Fair at 6 o'clock at the Shindig. We will also go live in probably in our Ren Fair meeting, that event that we created on Facebook. Information about Space Station Requiem and the organizations that we belong to, you can find at www.guildsofrequiem.com. Today is November the 21st, 2020, a year that we shall never forget, I'm sure. Search and Rescue Department is the one that's reporting. Why are they doing that? Because, well, they're for all of our long distance members. We have, I would say right now, maybe 25% of our membership is actually local to Bandera County. I was just notified that we have a family and an individual joining us out of Bernie. We hope to see you at some of our events, specifically Ren Fair. That's our next one coming up, where we do volunteer at, and we do treat our volunteers very well. So everyone else is either in the state of Texas or in one of the surrounding states. And I was reminded once again that no, I cannot be the empress of all the Midwest or Southern Midwest states. Texas is on.
There we are.
Yay, there you are. Texas is the only state that we get. So our agenda for today is that we're going to recap our previous meetings, which is typical for us. We're going to recap our departments and duties. We're going to talk about our upcoming events, of which we've only got 2. We've got Ren Fair, and then we've got the Community Yuletide, which that one we're not quite sure on, but we're going to ask people to either follow our page or follow our website. We'll put information out there as soon as we know it. We'll talk about how you can earn rank with promotion points and what's the value in having rank. And then we're going to go into a closed sessions for those who are Starfleet Command members only. It just gives us a chance to have private business, talk about private stuff that, maybe the public isn't quite ready to hear. If somebody has shown an interest in joining our club and already being involved in other things, then we will greatly look forward to seeing you at those meetings once you've let me know that you've submitted for your Starfleet membership. Felicia Vance was our winner at UFOCon, MiniCon, for the 1-year family membership to Starfleet Command. So hooray! Robert Hammock was our volunteer at that event. So when his membership comes up for renewal in about a month, we will be paying him a 1-year Starfleet membership with Starfleet Command. We'll get into the benefits of joining Starfleet Command and what's, just hanging around and having fun. So our meeting flow, like I stated, we are starting on time today. We're going to ask that everyone attempt to stay on topic. I'm sorry, when I have my screen up like this, I cannot see what's happening on YouTube, nor can I answer any comments or questions posed to us off of our Facebook accounts. Jeff, if you have that availability, please let us know. I'll let you be our little queue watcher there if possible. If not, that's okay. We will answer any questions or comments, or we'll acknowledge that you have commented and watched today as well. We ask that if you have joined our Zoom meeting, we've included our meeting ID number. This is the meeting ID number for Space Station Requiem for as long as Guilds of Requiem is running it, and we are using Zoom. So go ahead and save that, but you do have to have an authorized Zoom account. That means you've gone through the process and you've created a free account. We do ask that when you first come into the room that your name matches your account information so that we know who you are and who we're letting in. Once you are in our Zoom meeting room, we do allow you to change your name to if you have a persona one. For example, I'm Robin Kearney Fraser. My persona is Anna Tor. That would, I could easily change my my username to that, but I do believe that I'm just on here as Guilds of Requiem. Nope, I have me as Robin Kearney Fraser. I'm playing with my little thing here. I don't know if it shows up on it does. Okay, well, that's funny. That's hilarious. So everybody's seeing that on YouTube too, that Robin did not comb her hair yet and is in need of taking a bath before she goes to her meeting this afternoon. We call it the Sputnik look. It's quite organic. I remember it being quite popular after Major Carter wore it. Oh no, she was Colonel Carter at that time on Stargate, and the hair was all over the place. So, but we do not follow a set protocol other than be polite. You can use ranks and titles. They are appropriate if you forgets the person's name. None of us really stand on formality. Maybe if we're jesting with each other, we might use our ranks and our titles. But no, we're pretty laid back when it comes to Star Trek, when it comes to fan clubs, period, because we're not just Star Trek. And we do ask that you be mindful of guests and that this is a live broadcast going across several platforms. It is streaming on our YouTube channel. Later on, when I have time, I'll go back and I'll edit out any blurbs or dead spots. I don't think we had too many today. I did pretty good being able to sign in and get everything done all at the same time. So we're getting better at that. But we also do have a link to it off of Facebook, and we will be creating an Instagram account and any other social media that people recommend to us to actually have an account on and make postings about what's happening.
We do have a
I don't remember if we were talking about creating all the different social media accounts that falls under communications. We're glad to have you back.
It's been a hard 3 months, let me tell you.
Yeah, it's been a rough year all the way around. It's been more challenging for those who already face regular challenges. People who've never struggled before in their life are struggling for their first time this year, and our hearts go out to them. And if they need somebody to talk to who's lived the land of been there, done that, a bunch of us got the t-shirt.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do. Yeah, when we get to our private conversation, Jeff, we'll talk about prioritizing different updates and everything. We are seeing a mass exodus from Facebook. So
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we'll just go ahead and we'll figure it out. So what is Space Station Requiem? First of all, we are a fictional space station. Thank you, International Space Station, for the shout out. I love it every time you tag us. Any of your astronauts or cosmonauts and anybody on board tags us. We think it's really great that you do that when you're flying over our portion of Texas. I will admit, in the groups that I'm in for the International Space Station, I do nerd out when I see that. So thank you. It's really awesome to have real space stations acknowledging a fictional space station. We are an all-inclusive fan fiction club. We don't care if you're into science fiction, if Star Trek is your thing, Star Wars is your thing, if you're loving The Mandalorian, Stargate, Avengers, Marvel Universe, DC Universe. If you are a fan in nerddom or fandom and you cosplay, or you really have something that you are just really into, I think we've got some anime people, we've got horror people, so we are really, really inclusive. Why do we play in the Star Trek world? Well, Starfleet Command is one of the few fan club organizations that said, you know what, as long as you make your report every month, it's your club. Run it your way. Don't break the laws. And so when we were looking to form a more inclusive club down in Corpus Christi in 2013, so yes, we are 7 years old, even though we had a 5-year dry dock. We are 7 years old, and I do believe we are coming up on officially, actually, we have officially been out of dry dock 1 year. October, that's right, October. We came out of a dry dock in October of 2019. When I run Guilds of Requiem. We are now incorporated. We are a nonprofit corporation with the state of Texas. I also run Haven of the Dragon, another nonprofit corporation with the state of Texas. The goal is to have both of them 501(c)(3)s by next year, which includes Space Station Requiem under that umbrella. When we were running it, we had a bunch of people coming up and saying, man, we love the activities and the games that you do in the marketplace, but we're out here in the hill country. It's kind of a pain in the tuchus to drive to San Antonio all the time just to get our geek on. We love getting our geek on when you have your events up at the marketplace. What do you got? What do you got? So first thing we formed was the Gamers Guild of Requiem. It's like, okay, this is our curators of fun. They're the ones that they're making sure that activities are happening, performances are happening, coordinating volunteers for us. So they quickly became a very integral part of our group. And it was basically people who belonged to other guilds, but they were looking at how can they add value to what we do. And so I got to talking with Starfleet Command, and they said, yeah, you've got a you opted to buy that lifetime membership. Space Station Requiem is yours. Just need to fill out the paperwork. We'll reactivate you. Yeah, that little 5-year break, we're going to bust you in. Great. I'm like, but that's okay. I'm like, okay, I'm still the captain. I could be an ensign and still be a captain, technically. I don't know that I trust somebody who's an ensign and is a captain of a chapter, but we don't discount that, so that kind of gets us to where, we are now in Pipe Creek, Texas, which is Bandera County. We are about 45 minutes west of San Antonio on Highway 16. We do all of our in-person events up at the Shindig, which is just past Polly Peak as you're heading towards Bandera on the right-hand side. That has been a huge blessing. They're the clubhouse for the booze fighters. They are very welcoming to us being there. A lot of them really dig what we do, and they have fun with us on it as well. So that has been like one of the best moves that we've made was forming a partnership with the Shindig. And so that brings us to where we are here now. Where is our history in the Star Trek world? The concept for Space Station Requiem is that during the Dominion War, this interdimensional and temporal rift was discovered. We lost our original writings and backstory to us as to whether it was a created rift, or was it a natural occurring rift, or was it kind of a combination of the two, because that battle was happening in that region of space. It triggered this rift to happen. So that's something that I might go back later on and write a little bit more of a redetail how Space Station Requiem actually started, versus though the day of the endless hell that is currently happening on the station. So we are in our own universe. We are not in any canon timelines for Star Trek. What that does is that gives us a lot of freedoms. That allows us to use pretty much any uniform variation from Star Trek that a person feels confident wearing. It gives us the option to create our own. We now have 5 seamstresses in our group. All of them are very talented in creating their own costuming. So that just completely opened the world for us to do our own Star Trek inspired uniform. I mean, we could go out and take elements of all the different fandoms that we have represented to incorporate into that universe and be our own unique uniform. That also allows us to have a lot of freedom in our storyline. That means I don't have to, if my mother was on the Stargazer with Picard, I've had a lot of people saying that, oh no, there's no way there's no way that your history could have happened on the Stargazer. Okay, I'm in an alternate universe. So that's probably the most inappropriate thing anybody's ever going to see from me. I'm an author. It's my storyline. Everything is inspired. I am not making money from this. That is the biggest defining thing for the owners of the Star Trek franchise right now. And I think that's still CBS, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that is the biggest defining thing. I am not making money. I am not profiting or making any gain from my storylines. They are complete, pure fan fiction. Thank you, freedom of speech. Try to speak in sprechen Sie Deutsch and fine. Let me get back to English. Yes. What is our structure? We do follow kind of a paramilitary structure, and that is just because it makes good organizational sense. You've got your people who are in charge. That's your president and your vice president, or your commanding officer and your executive officer. You have your different departments who perform certain functions for the club, for the benefit of the club. And so then you got to have a department head and then people who are underneath them. And I already covered why Starfleet Command, because they give me a lot of freedom to do what we need to do and want to do that works for our region, works for us. I can have correspondence members, which is what Jeff is. He is up near Dallas, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we can have people from all over Texas and the surrounding states be members of our club, and we can allow for people being here. So why join Space Station Requiem? Really, when you join our public group, we've kind of invited you into our family already to see how we operate and see what works for you. When you take that next step to join Starfleet Command, which helps us maintain our membership with them and our charter with them and everything else, and it gives more options for people that I know I can rely on who are saying, I want to take this extra step of commitment. It also brings you into the Guilds of Requiem network. And I could talk 3 or 4 hours about that and still not cover everything that Guilds of Requiem does. www.guilds, G-U-I-L-D-S, of Requiem, REQUIEM.com. Our website is huge. It's extensive. Jeff, Janet, and Mikey, they're all working to make it better. They're working together in harmony because our website just exploded in the last 2 years of the 5 years that we've had it. So we're trying to rein it back under control so you're not sitting there going down that little rabbit hole, and it's easier to find what you're actually looking for. So what's the difference in the departments when I joined? We'll go over that when we cover departments here in a little bit, and I'll also go over what are my expectations of members. So our departments, we have of course our command department, which is myself, Fleet Captain Robin Kearney Fraser. My persona name is Anna Tor, or Rasha Anna Tor, Rasha Anna Till. It all kind of goes into Tor and Till is basically a family name. Big backstory, I'll get to it. We have also First Lieutenant Robert Hammock, who is at work today. We have our communications department, which Jeff is in. That is our social media, our website, our graphics, anywhere where we are connecting with people and communicating, basically our public relations gurus. Our engineering, we decided this was going to be like our general membership for anybody who was within a 50-mile radius of Pipe Creek. So that does include all of the greater San Antonio area. And we will ask you, whether you want to be engineering or you want to be search and rescue. Because when you're in our engineering and you're our general membership, we're acknowledging that you're local to us. We have our Marines. They are part of the event and activity coordination. They work very closely with our Gamers Guild. Matter of fact, our Marine, Robert Hammock, is in our Gamers Guild and a part of our Gamers Guild. He's also now in our Guardians Guild. Hi, Mike. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, how are you?
We are doing fantastic. We are talking about our different departments that we have.
I see.
Our medical department and our science department are kind of the same thing. They both have to do with charity and community resources. Medical, we want to try to focus on those who are local memberships, local resources for those in the greater San Antonio area, extending all the way out into the hill country of Bandera County. Science, long distance charity and community resources, those are going to be our go-to of, hey, I need to travel to Indiana, but I need to have some safe stopping places along the way because I'm driving. That person is going to reach out to Starfleet Command and say, hey, we've got somebody traveling. Is there anybody who can help them make sure that they arrive to their destination safe? And just reach out and be a community resource. That is also a long distance charity would be like if we're participating in an online fundraiser for someone. I think the biggest one that I can basically recall that we've done that's a long distance charity that was really impactful is Katie Johnson. She was the daughter of one of the people who started the 501st. If you ever heard of K2D2, that is Katie. We did a Cards for Katie campaign. Oh gosh, this would have been back in the 90s when I was a part of the USS Joan of Arc and Starfleet International. And we just basically made sure that this little girl who was going through terminal brain cancer knew that she had all of this support and love by sending her cards. She got teddy bears, she got little games, it was just a really big outpouring from the entire science fiction community and the fandom communities across. It didn't matter if people were 501st, it didn't matter if they were Honor Harrington's universe or Star Trek. Everybody came in together to help make this one little girl's life more special. So that's what we mean by long distance. Our search and rescue, that is for general membership for anyone 50 miles or greater than Pipe Creek. We recognize that you are our correspondence members. You are still the bread and the life beat of our station. And we do write our search and rescue mission. We do write all of our members into, I do write, not we, it's now me writing. We do write all of our members who want to create a persona into our storylines. So that's also a great reason to, if you're not quite sure what you really want to do, but which department, that's kind of a good, hey, let me think about what I would actually want to do on a space station. Our final department is security. That person is our member services and promotion point tracking. So anybody who's in our security group, we're probably going to rely on you, and other members will rely on you to be very familiar with Starfleet Command, how Starfleet Command works, along with Guilds of Requiem and how Guilds of Requiem work. And then you get the added little bonus of access to my Excel spreadsheet of where I am tracking promotion points. Mm-hmm. I am working on finalizing almost everything and keeping everything consistent on those tracking points. Okay, come on, computer. Let's go to the next one. So, upcoming events. Yes, I blasted a bunch of big information there on the screen for you. Ren Fair at Bandera County is next weekend, and we are super, super excited. It is our first year that our marketplace is going from an inspired Ren Fair market to having an actual Renaissance fair. And I got to tell you, this has been no easy task. We have had a lot of challenges. We were supposed to have this back at the first weekend of May this year. Obviously that didn't happen, and then we moved it to September, and then we moved it to October, and finally we got back to the same date that we've had it the last 2 years, which is Thanksgiving weekend. And we all pretty much agreed that we didn't want to push it any further than that. So that's a little bit of information about our pre-purchases, pre-sale tickets. We'll be dropping our PDF into our public group so that people will be able to see all this information on their own. Space Station Requiem members, we are asking for volunteers. If you're a local, if you need somewhere to camp out, please let us know. We'll be gladly assist you with that. We do feed our volunteers very, very well. Between the Shindig Cafe and Uncle Danny's Barbecue and Snack Shack and Saturday night, oh yeah, if you're hungry, sorry, you're not taking full advantage of all the volunteer perks. We will have a drawing held for a 1-year membership to Starfleet Command. Sorry, Robert, you've already won. So even though we'll appreciate you if you are out here volunteering, you've already won a year. So let's leave it open to somebody else that might be coming in. We're also going to have a drawing on Sunday at 5 o'clock for a new 1-year membership. It's going to be a free raffle, so anybody who comes in and has paid for their ticket into there will have the option of dropping their door prize ticket into that bucket for Sunday. Volunteers do get a food card, and they are fed every 5 hours worked. Uncle Danny's is going to be doing breakfast taquitos on Saturday and Sunday when we've got the Shindig Cafe with doing their wraps. We've got burgers. I think somebody's doing turkey legs. Yeah, I think Uncle Danny's is going to do turkey legs and sausage on a stick. And then we've got Saturday night's meal. 4 courses. You get an appetizer, you get a soup, you get a main meal, and then a dessert, a choice of an alcoholic or non-alcoholic beverage. So that we are excited for that. Christy took forever with my cookbook trying to decide what she actually wanted to make when she stepped in to help us out. So rank, why do we have it? We prefer to look at rank as somebody who's been with an organization for a while and has basically earned it through knowledge and participation. It helps people coming into any of our chats, into any of our events where somebody's wearing rank, that if they see somebody that's wearing a recruit pip, I don't even think we have they have no rank at all on their collar, and then they see somebody who's a captain or a lieutenant, my mind is going to say that person knows more about what's going on with the club. That's the person I'm going to ask questions of. So that's kind of why we have it. And it helps give structure to the chapter itself. How do you earn it? Very simple, participation. You got your first set of points when you join Starfleet Command. You can take academy courses that are department based. If you say that, hey, I want to be more involved, I'm really into this, I dig what you're doing, I'd like to be an officer, you can take the officer command school and tell us which department you want to help run. And pretty much we try to help people gain rank by just their simple participation. I mean, I think I have somebody who's just simply doing academy courses. They're a long distance member. That's all they're doing. They're doing academy courses. They're happy just being a member of the group. And so that's what we do. So we do make a distinguish between non-commissioned officers, commissioned officers, and flag officers. To us, a non-commissioned officer is somebody who just started. These are your enlisted ranks. Or maybe they're not wanting a whole lot of responsibility. They really don't want people underneath them, looking to them for stuff, whatever their choice is to stay non-commissioned. Our commissioned officers are those who are ensign and above that basically say, I am really into this. I want to make this commitment. I'm going to become an officer and I'm going to help make this club even better. Flag officers. These are the jewels of fandom. These are the ones who have either been with an organization a really long time, or they have decided, I want to be very involved with a parent organization. For us, that parent organization is Starfleet Command. And basically our flag officers either run a chapter, have run a chapter, they're helping run various aspects of Starfleet Command. So we view these as people who are really into this, which is great. How high can you promote within the chapter? There's been some changing on that. My rule is I will not promote anybody greater than a commander. When you get to a commander, I'm going to put that in front of Paul Reichard, who is the commander of Starbase 4, my superior, direct superior. And I'm going to say, hey, I want a final decision. I need help with making this decision. This is my recommendation. Do you approve or decline? Once you start getting into your flag ranks, that has to come from Starfleet Command. I can recommend, send it off to Paul. Paul can then forward the recommendation up the chain, and we goes from there. How often can I get promoted? Every 6 months. Starfleet's rule, every 6 months. Does that mean that you've been a member of this chapter for 6 months, you're automatically going to get promoted? No. It's not fair to those who are busting their hind end that I can only promote one rank every 6 months to also be advancing somebody who is just here. So as people probably noticed, my current rank is Fleet Commander, Fleet Captain, not Fleet Commander. Ha! I wish. I wish. No, I'm the Empress of Texas. I shall get you all. No. Actually, I can't see underneath it. I used to be a rear admiral. When we decommissioned back in 2013, because of my break, they said, hey, long break, you've been out of it a little bit, you got a little bit of a learning curve to find out what do we have going on, what's happening and everything else with different people. So exactly how long have I been doing this? It was pointed out to me that a membership number was found for me from 1979. I have not been a continuous member since then. Actively, I've been in fandom and helping run organizations probably since I came to Texas in 1995, 96 and joining the USS Joan of Arc. So I've kind of been at this a while. I've run several nonprofit organizations. Outside of this, we have nonprofit corporations and nonprofit organizations that I've been running. I have helped with a lot of conventions, all the way from running an entire area by myself to taking care of guests, taking care of volunteers, coordinating guests, finding artists, guest speakers, and everything. I was heavily involved with RealmsCon down in Corpus Christi when it first started. I think about the first 4 or 5 years, we ran the game room all weekend long. Lots of caffeine, chocolate covered espresso beans. That's how I roll. So yeah, I've been at this a while. So that was pretty much everything that we have going on right now. Like I said, Ren Fair is our biggest thing coming up next weekend, and then we will turn our attention to our Yuletide community celebration. Traditionally, our Gamers Guild and Space Station Requiem have been kind of the coordinators for that event. because of, and they basically helped coordinated people who were bringing foods for potluck and gift exchange and entertainment and everything else. But because of COVID, Texas Department of Health has said that we cannot do any family style potluck or buffet servings. So we are kind of needing to see what happens with Ren Fair this weekend to see if there's the funds to prepay a caterer or decide how much per person and kind of what kind of food that we want to serve, and if there's a, what kind of budget, and is there enough interest. That's kind of our big concern. We are seeing a lot of people concerned with COVID in attending our events. We are outside on 5 acres. Man, outside is the best thing you can be right now. We do ask people wear masks or social distance by 6 feet from each other. We do have several people who can't wear masks. I broke my nose a few weeks ago, and I've been told, no, you probably don't want to wear a mask for 12 weeks. And I thought, okay, whatever. All of this looks like it's healed. I'm going to put a mask on. We also have some people who are hard of hearing who depend on being able to read people's lips. So that's why we're having to allow for this. And we're basically saying, if you don't have a face mask on and you're not in your family group, please keep 6 feet from each other. I'm going to kind of click out of this real quick so